Hi there! Today I'm going to talk about the study tips that I use to get through university. Sometimes it's hard to make yourself focus and be productive, but with these tips you can get the most out of your study sessions. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm sure you know the feeling when you've been working on an essay for hours and hours and you start to feel like the words that you write don't make sense anymore and that whatever you're typing is gibberish. I've certainly been there, and let me tell you, this first technique, the Pomodoro Technique, helped me immensely to overcome that. With Pomodoro, every 25 minutes of intense work is followed by a 5-minute break where you can stand up, grab a cup of tea, and rest your mind and body before continuing with your work. These 5-minute breaks are the key of maintaining your focus, because without them, you'll burn out after a while. The best thing about Pomodoro is that you don't need any special tools to do it. All you need is a timer either on your phone or your computer. But if you like to get extra with your technology, like I do, there are dedicated apps that help you schedule your Pomodoro sessions. I dropped a few of them down in the description below. My second tip relates to the state when you're sitting on the couch at 6 p.m. endlessly scrolling on TikTok and you're feeling bad about yourself because you just realized that you haven't done anything productive on that day. I like to call this place the dark playground, because you're supposed to have downtime, but you're not actually having any fun. And in reality, you're feeling pretty bad about yourself. The way I escape the dark playground is by setting up a ridiculously easy goal to achieve, like making a Word document for the essay that I'm supposed to be writing. By doing this, I'm giving myself a quick win that can propel me to stop procrastinating and have a productive day. I was definitely the person who wrote a lot of his essays the night before the deadline, which resulted in a lot of panicky all-nighters, which were really not fun to do. But thankfully, over the years, I developed a quick method of how can I avoid these all-nighters. What I did basically is I gave myself fake deadlines, slightly earlier deadlines than the actual ones, and considered those the real deadlines. This will be especially useful in your second year of IMB, where you'll have a lot of deadlines in the second term in the same week or so. If you want to go the extra mile, get a friend to hold you accountable with your fake deadlines. One peculiar habit of mine that I hope you'll find useful is that I like to make a specific scene of my surroundings when I'm studying in order to prime my brain to enter this productive study mode. And I do this by totally random things, like lighting a special candle that I only light when I'm studying, or brewing a special tea that I only drink while writing essays. By doing these little things every single time that I'm supposed to be productive, I feel like I'm making it so much easier to enter the right productivity mindset. You can also use the UCL study spaces for the same effect, with the added benefit that you have people around you who are doing the same thing. If you want to learn more about priming your brain this way, I recommend reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. These last two techniques specifically relate to taking tests. I like to call the first one embarrassing yourself. And no, I'm not talking about the kind when your friend waves at you on the street, so you wave back before you realize that it's not your friend at all, and in fact, they were waving at someone behind you. This might be controversial, but before I start preparing for an exam, I always do the mock exam first. And in this way, I realize my blind spots in the subject area. After recognizing the topics that I'm struggling with, I can go into my exam prep laser focused on what I need to improve. This method relies on the principle of hypercorrection, when you learn that you're wrong about something, so you're more eager to correct that mistake. The last method that I wanted to talk about is preparing for an exam as if you were teaching it to somebody else. This is useful because research suggests that people who learn this way retain more information. This is also where you can really take advantage of your peers at UCL. You can set up a study group where each of you are designated one topic and your task is to teach it to the others during each session. This will likely result in you engaging more profoundly with the material, which will ultimately translate to better grades. These are the methods that I use to get through university. Some will work for you and some won't. It's completely personal. But one thing that I would like for you to take away from this video is that you're a human being and not a machine made to be productive. So if it doesn't work on some days, just be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You'll get it the next day. There are a lot of people who like to peddle this ultra-productive lifestyle on social media, but that's a really not realistic way of living, so don't expect it from yourself. If you think there are other tips that I should mention, drop them in the comments below. I'm super curious. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.